they have a little bit of lockdown, and I suppose Luna builds into the Manta style, so she's not going to be worrying about the overgrowth all too much. Um, what could they do? What could they do?
Well, I'll think about with the reserve time for now.
Maybe a Terrorblade could come out here for Fnatic.
Possibly. They do go for the Phoenix. Okay, so I now wonder, like, is this going to be a DJ Phoenix? Like, we haven't seen offlane Phoenix in a while, I feel like. It hasn't really been a thing. So it should theoretically just be the pos for Phoenix, but Fnatic could be playing some mind games here with GeekFam.
Hmm.
I'd like the pickup, though. You didn't really have an answer there for the Dragon Knight, but now with that Sunray, you can really burn through his HP quite easily. I suppose up against the bloodlusted heroes like the Luna as well, the Fire Spirits will be quite effective.
Hmm. And so the question that Fnatic are going to be asking themselves now is a Treant Protector's living armor going to be enough to stop the pressure that they're going to be putting onto our towers? If they think yes, with what they want their last pick to be, then they're happy with running this Treant Protector as a position 3 because you want to get that level up nice and fast. But if you're wanting to exert more aggressive pressure onto them, then you need that Phoenix to get levels because a Phoenix really only needs Tranquil Boots, maybe a Magic Wand, and a Spirit Vessel. And then beyond that, anything is real luxury. So early on, what you just want is levels for this Phoenix right now. And I feel like Treant's one of those heroes that can leave the lane semi-reliably, do some back pulling, and yeah, get a lot done in that way. And I'm really liking the fact that they've banned out this Terrorblade. I think it was a good rounding out way to do Fnatic's draft.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, we are still lacking that 23 Savage hero in all this. Uh, he's really doesn't have many popular picks left. That Morphling's gone, the Ricky's gone, the Spectre's gone, the TB's gone, Lycan's gone as well. I wonder what they're going to give this man for this third game between Fnatic and GeekFam now. They'll have a last little think about their final ban out with that 18 seconds reserve time they had left.
Maybe a
Seems like,
troll for themselves.
I
Could be the
guess,
go.
that is one of the options left. They ban out the Void Spirit.
If they go troll, I'm worried that Geek Fam are going to go into something like a Conquer. I feel like it just gives them a lot more team fight. It gives them another stun. It gives them sustain in lane. You can be that frontliner in addition to your Ogre Magi and let the, excuse me, Luna do a lot of the work.
Conquer does seem quite nice. Even without even if it wasn't the troll, the Conquer still seems pretty nice, but... Oh, okay. The Void is there, but I still think that that Kunkka prediction you made could fit here. Boat an X into a Faceless Void is quite nice.
I mean, right now, Fnatic have the team fight, obviously, right? You've got Overgrowth, you've got Supernova, you've got Void, and you've even got that classic combo of the Death Ward in combination with the Chronosphere. So that's always going to be really effective. But is it going to be enough? Do they have the tower taking potential beyond that? It's not hugely strong. It leads me to think that maybe this is an Ice 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 Treant Protector because they're going to need that Meteor Hammer to keep the pressure on the lanes so that even if it's not them actively pushing it out, the lanes are passively pushing with creeps. Um, so then how can GeekFam respond to this? They've got okay lockdown. I feel like they need a bit more though.
Well, they've got one final pick, 25 seconds reserve time left for this. Still yet to see if this is going to be a mid quap, a pos 4 quap, a mid DK, an offlane DK. It's all up in the air.
I want to see a Lena, mid Lena come out is what I'm thinking.
Okay, mid laner. Could be it. Oh, Earthshaker comes. All right, so that's going to be a pos 4 shaker. They are going to run maybe the mid quap or the mid DK. Ravens, of course, going to take the Luna. They're just going to wait out a bit. And no, that is a pos 4 quap and offlane Earthshaker by Cuckoo. That's a new one.
It is a new one, I suppose. Just wanting to contest with the Faceless Void as much as possible. Maybe not going too many points into the Fisher, just enchant toteming him up. Uh, Thankfully, it's not going to be a support Dragon Knight. It's going the way of Carl. So I've got a little bit more faith in GeekFam's draft than I did previously.
Good to hear, good to hear. I guess I'll ask you now then, like we can see both drafts. This is the final game. Loser does go to the lower bracket, round number 2 of the lower bracket. Who, in your opinion, has the better draft?
I want to see the laning setups first. I want to
Okay.
see if they're doing anything crazy with, throwing a certain hero mid that probably shouldn't or that we weren't expecting. Initial reaction is GeekFam has the better draft, but I'm gonna hold my opinion just at least for the next minute or so.
No, that's fair enough. We can do that. This Ice Train Protector going to be there. DJ taking the Phoenix. Jabs, of course, back on the Witch Doctor. Seems like there's going to be a hell of a lot of pressure on Moon this game to try and buy as much space with his team so Savage can get that farm lead going for himself up against that Luna who should really have the advantage in the speed she farms at, considering she does have the inbuilt glaives, where Savage will probably have to go into maybe the Maelstrom to try and keep up in farming.
Plus having an ogre just to buff you up.
Exactly right.
Just happened.
And, Zephyr, please. Not exactly PG-rated content right there for Dota 2. We'll get into it. Game number 3 between Fnatic and GeekFam. This should be a good one. And the final matchup before one of these guys proceeds or one of these guys gets knocked down. And well, as far as I can tell, there is going to be a bit of a difference in lanes. Savage, he's going to run up top on that Void, so he doesn't really want to go up against that offlane Shaker. Or rather the offlane Shaker is not what he wants to go up against. They were bringing 3 down bot lane as well to try and counter out this Void. But for now, all they're going to find is a tree.
And I'm not sure Cuckoo's going to be able to do all too much about that. You can see Whitemon as well. He's gone into the Orb of Venom, so he wants to harass out that Faceless Void as much as possible. He's not going to be all that susceptible to the bashes that are going to be coming through from him. Obviously, it's magic damage as opposed to physical, so that big bulk of 7 armor isn't going to do all that much, but you've still got the HP pool, and I think you can get the better end of the trade.
Sure. Savage, he'll stick up top. Of course, this is going to be a very, very hard lane for Raven if they keep up this tri-lane here from Fnatic. I'm sure GeekFam will react straight away as soon as they see it. Savage, where are you off to, sir? He's running down bot. Okay. So Ice is going to switch up with Savage. He'll just start using Time Walk to get there before the creep wave meets. And so they do actually decide they'd rather go up against this lane of Zephyr Whiteman right now. Jab's going to get a little bit caught out here by Whiteman. He's going to just run him down that tree line. No, he'll leave him. Oh, no, he won't. Whiteman, having a check, does find Jabs now. But maybe not the position he really wants to be in, considering Savage has also joined in. But at least he does scout that out.
You can see here Whiteman, he doesn't even need to pop one of his tangos. He's already got that 6.2 regen holding onto the 1 mango, and well, he's choosing to go top, trying to contest this a little bit up here.
I can appreciate that. You are going to have to keep Raven safe, right? Like, he's very squishy in comparison to most POS 1s in these earlier stages of the game, and with Ice there hitting for 91 base damage right now, it's not going to be too safe for him if he doesn't have that support around.
Nicely done to, obviously you want to go the Fire Spirits level 1 on DJ just to harass out a little bit, interrupt some of these last hits, and Raven's only been able to grab 1 so far. It means that he wasn't able to get the block onto the small camp though, so Whiteman is eventually going to be able to pull that 1 through when the equilibrium goes against his favor.
Definitely nice for the side of GeekFam. Of course, that mid matchup as well. You'll have Moon there up against Carl on the DK. It's going to be one of those more passive mid matchups that we tend to see with the DK involved, because he just doesn't ever tend to die with that Dragon Blood.
Oh, potentially, but we can see here he's already done it once. On Ice Ice Ice, he's using the Living Armor onto the Ember Spirit to enable him to go forward a bit more aggressively.
That is very true, and well, Moon has been doing so, just really spamming out those chains. More Living Armor to come through, so Carl won't really be able to harass Moon out either. And, well, with this added HP, he really shouldn't have too much of a problem up against Carl. It's going to be a matter of whether he can get a rotation later on to try and actually burst down the DK a little bit. But DJ is going to be a little bit preoccupied right now, just trying to deal with this pull that's coming out from Whiteman. Well, he can't really stop it either, which is a bit of a shame for him.
Yeah, it's stacked up as well. Otherwise, if he just got that Kobold camp, he would be kicking himself. It's easily the worst camp in the game. If you're a support, it just doesn't even kill one range creep.
That is rough. DJ, gonna be a little bit careful about how far he overextends. The Fire Blast gonna fly through now, but he will Icarus dive out of there. He's really playing on the edge with this Phoenix, trying to contest this this pull coming out from Whiteman. Now Ice 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 even gonna walk through with the pull of the creep wave. I don't mind that pull either, because Raven might struggle just a little bit underneath this tier 1 tower with the Luna.
I think with Cuckoo, yeah, like we were saying before, he's not going to go for more than the 1 point into the Fissure, just leveling the Aftershock up now. I think after that, maybe the Enchant Totem's the priority. Oh, Zephyr might be getting caught out here.
Now the cask only bounces once, though. So Zephyr does, or is able to blink out. No lucky bashes for Savage. It's like DJ does find a nice little courier there. Does deny off the stick onto Whiteman. Meanwhile, mid, Moon is still really forcing in this tier 1 tower. Just making sure Carl is constantly having to farm underneath that tier 1. And trying to really harass out with the Flame Guard chains again. Carl has been controlling this quite well. He already has the top of the last hits on the board and has his Soul Ring up, so things are much easier for him. But at the very least, Moon is going to be able to get a bottle DD up. And that should help, maybe even give him some kill potential here onto that Dragon Knight. Maybe.
Yeah. Oh, they've caught out on the bot side here. Who they're going to get the kill on?
They do. Jabs does go down. Now the bashes are coming out from Savage. He's just not feeling confident to go all the way right now at that level 3 mark. And we'll just go back for a little bit. Mid lane, looks like Carl is getting dived right now by Moon. He does have that double damage active, so he's doing a lot of damage even with that Flame Guard. But Carl is running very, very quick, even without brown boots. And, well, Moon, he can't quite finish the job off, but he can just keep doing this.
Slide.
Chains as well. Carl, Dragon Tail is going to come out, still trying to just juke out Moon, and looks like the Ember will just pull the creep wave away.
How long till the next slide? He's got about 5 seconds or so, and, well, he grabs the bounty runes, so it's actually a decent trade here for the Ember Spirit. Obviously, you can't just walk away from a full creep wave if you're trying to contest that with Carl, and yeah, things are looking pretty decent for Fnatic in the mid lane, especially.
Yeah, that is definitely true. It's a bit of extra value by pulling it into that neutral camp. Things are very, very stable for both teams, I might add. It's just, well, now, maybe not now with the bounty being placed. DJ, he seems to want Zephyr. Whiteman's going to be chased down up at that top lane, but he'll be okay on the Ogre. And while all this has been happening, Raven has fallen behind farm just slightly on that Luna now, sitting at 22 and 3. Ice 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 actually out CSing the Luna, but they are going to bring 3 heroes in. Whiteman's there with Zephyr to try and help out Raven, contest this this Treant Protector and Phoenix. Even then, I don't know if that's going to be enough, to be perfectly honest with you. You've got the Icarus dive, you've got the trees there for Ice, although now they do make the jump, and it turns out it is going to be enough. See DJ try to go for the deny off on Ice Ice Ice, but doesn't quite get it.
Yeah, they've got a good amount of damage with this Lucent Beam being leveled up to level 3, 225 on a 6-second cooldown. You can just throw out the harass relatively constantly, and yeah, finally Raven's going to be able to get some somewhat free farm.
The bot lane, Savage, he's trying to make a chase onto Cuckoo. They do end up letting the Earthshaker go. Nice little steal there from Cuckoo. That Fissure, just taking that large cap.
Ice is in trouble again, he just TP'd back.
Uh-oh. Ice trying to run, but they just dive him straight away, and that's going to be a huge pick-off. It's time for that walk of shame. However, mid lane, Carl also goes down. Moon does finally get through the HP and armor of that Dragon Knight, and I guess maybe you could argue that that was still positive for GeekFam, as they have to make the tree and walk up.
They do, but still at the same time, DJ, he's already level 5 at this position for Phoenix. So I was talking about in the draft before that it's really important that if you put this, if you need the levels early on, it means that the Phoenix needs to go that position 3. But the fact that he's been able to get the levels despite not getting the farm, it's a positive outcome.
That it is. It's like they're going to force Zephyr to TP back to the fountain as well in that pos 4 Quap. Meanwhile, bot.
Cuckoo.
Yeah, he's in trouble. That Melodic slowly ticking him out. He gets another nice Fisher off. Savage, no, he's just going to commit the Chrono. It is a pos 3 Earthshaker after all. You may as well just secure the kill and not play any games and get back to farming if you're Savage. That's not a bad Chrono to start us off.
Yeah, I think it's perfectly fine. The Shaker's terrible to lane into when you can just spam out that Aftershock with not too much mana cost, and well, he's going to take a little bit of a lead here. Wasn't able to get the turnaround, being a full level behind right now, despite having a bit less time with a lane partner on this bottom side of the map.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
We'll come back into the lane. Zephyr's going to be there now on the Queen of Pain down at that bot lane, so maybe they're looking to try and make a play back towards Fnatic, but you've got Savage with that level 2 time walk, so I don't think it's going to be too easy. They'll start. Cast going to be there again onto Cuckoo though with the Melodict. Cast bouncing the right way, but no bashes out from Savage. So he doesn't bother chasing him down any further, but now Zephyr going to find the courier of that Faceless Void, and oh, that will reveal his position now, so Savage just gonna back off a little bit, maybe even jump onto Zephyr, but Zephyr has gone on jabs. Does get his courier as well. Cast will fly out. Zephyr still waiting 5 seconds for that blink to be up. Savage, can you get lucky with any bashes? Melodict? No bash.
It's always going to be a little bit tilting. Zephyr is just standing here.
Uh-oh. Zephyr, still not getting bashed. Savage, there we go. Finally comes in and they do get the bounty off. Meanwhile, Moon was chasing the Ogre, but it looks like he does TP out in time. However, top lane Raven was also in huge trouble, but he will TP back to the fountain. And that may be the start of this T1 top tower push, as Moon has connected.
Yeah, Moon as well as 23 Savage TPing up to this top side. Still no Chronosphere for the next 40 seconds, and well, I can somewhat understand Zephyr there not wanting to, you know, just maybe having his eyes off the map for a little bit, because, I mean, it's a Void, right? Who leaves the lane that far and goes on a bit of an expedition?
Yeah, that is very, very true. It's going to go ahead, try and dish out that T1 damage. Carl is trying to do the same thing, though, on that mid lane. He's popped the Elder Dragon form and just trying to get in range of that T1 to get some more chip damage going for himself. Of course, Whiteman's going to just fly past and get that Bloodlust off on the DK to help him out a little bit. It's a bit hard, though, with that living armor from the Treant, just constantly keeping that mid tower healed up and alive. And with Moon and jabs around the area, I don't believe you're going to get through that T1.
No, they don't have too much left on this Elder Dragon form as well, so it feels like Zephyr's wasting his time a little bit. You can see he wants to make the rotation through to make something happen with this tome that he's just had delivered to himself, but even that's not going to be enough to reach his level 6.
Nice little escape there from Cuckoo up at the top lane. There is going to be a bit of a bot lane push. Raven trying to TP out. Egg going to be committed. He does go down. The rotation's in from GeekFam. May have been a bit too late. They do get a deny off on the Egg as well. A great play out from Moon. And now Zephyr, he'll be chased down. He does go down. A double now on the Ember. And, well, Whiteman, he gets a bounty place, but they'll just leave him be. Meanwhile, the top lane, Cuckoo, gets a solo kill off onto 23 Savage, but he is going to die to Jabs, and now maybe Jabs will go down to Whiteman, who is going to chase him down. But Jabs,
using the fog so well.
He really is. Whiteman can't get the Ignite or the Fire Blast off in time. Jabs still fogging him out. Oh, that's beautiful play there from Jabs. You got to admit, though, a solo kill off onto 23 Savage, he won't be feeling too happy about that.
They got on Whiteman again.
They do. The Melodic is there now with all the burn damage out from DJ, and Whiteman, there's just no way to survive this much. Bounty claimed.
realizing he's going to go down, you may as well get some spells off and do a little bit of damage, but it's not going to do all of that much. And just some really great team play coming through from Fnatic there on the bottom side of the map.
That they really are getting some stuff done here now and then. Well, Fnatic, they move back up top. That T1 tower is still standing. They want to just try and take that out. They will. Savage will take care of it. They did also spot out the Fissure of Cuckoo, so see if they can lock him down, but he'll be fine to just walk away.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Meanwhile, Karl will run back into the mid lane. He does have that Elder Dragon form up, but you look at that mid tower, and it's just consistently been healed up by Ice Ice Ice. And while you might still get some decent damage off onto it, with Moon around, who also has the Maelstrom up, by the way, it seems like they're not even going to try.
No, they need to get this pick off onto Ice 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 and then make a push for that, but it just seems like they haven't coordinated their cooldowns quite perfectly enough. DJ might be in a little bit of a vulnerable position here if they get the Fissure off onto him.
Well, they got the Dragon Tail, now with the Fissure flying out as well. DJ had a second to egg, but of course won't waste his time with that. Jabs will TP out. However, bot lane, Zephyr does also die. So both POS 4s being traded there in the top and bot lane. Moon, he's going to be about 400 gold away from that Maelstrom as well now. And speaking of his Maelstrom, 23 Savage has his on the way. It's just on the courier.
Yeah, you just have to think about where those kills happen though, right? You have DJ, who died right next to the Dire Tier 2 tower, so the fact that he's there pushes away all of GeekFam from an offensive play. And, well, look at what happened on the bottom lane. Ice Ice Ice, he's got creeps pushing into the tower. They're losing out on farm because of it. Valuable experience as well, and that graph's going to start ticking more and more in the favor of Fnatic.
And that it will. Moon, they get stunned up in the mid lane, but they won't have the control. Moon's just trying to skip that creep wave early and maybe apply some pressure onto that T1 tower. It's always a bit of a problem if you're the DK and you lose your T1 mid first. That's what Fnatic's trying to achieve here. Well, at least you'll have the Blink Dagger now on top of Karl, so there's plenty of initiation on this Dragon Knight available to go now.
They do. They're getting a little bit unlucky again with the rune situation. I feel like Fnatic have just prayed to the Dota gods, and it's not even just today. It was yesterday that it was happening as well. So getting in right position to be able to snag up that power rune was Karl, but just the haste going on the top side means that Moon can bottle it up.
Savage stunned up. Now the Echo Cuckoo comes in. They just blow him up. Savage had no chance to get the chrono. Egg will explode, however. DJ turning back around onto Whiteman. Death Ward is been placed as well. Whiteman will die. Now Cuckoo's in trouble. Moon is still there. They're trying to turn it with all these stuns, but it may not be enough. Zephyr with the Sonic Wave. Moon still just trying to juke himself out of here. It will end up being a 2-for-3 trade. Moon just going to go ahead, reset, pick up his Maelstrom. Well, you defend that T1 mid tower if you're GeekFam, but I mean, they got Savage. I don't know if that's good enough.
I don't think it is, because at any stage of the game, if you can get a full value Supernova off when it's only level 1, it's enormous, right? It's either because you've used it in a terrible spot, or because the coordination for your team has been good enough that you're actually able to position yourself properly. And you could see there were two heroes that were trying to deal with it at the end, but even that, not able to deal 5 right clicks.
He still has that chrono up now on Savage as well. He just never got to use it. So now, you've got to be consistently worried about when he wants to commit that chrono. Well, the rest of Fnatic are actually just moving their way up to the top lane where they'll spot out Cuckoo again. Whiteman's also going to be there to try and help him out if necessary. Now, Moon won't make the dive in yet, but he has put a Remnant out, so he wants to just start chipping away at Cuckoo's HP. That Sleight of Fist does do a hell of a lot of damage already. Now, Whiteman going to be in trouble. The Flame Guard just burning him out. He'll throw a Fire Blast there, but you've got Cuckoo just stuck in that tree line. Moon won't bother, though. Does back off. He does have the rest of his team slowly making their way up to the top lane, but looks like they will just abandon that for now.
He's farming it up. You've got this Meteor Hammer as well on Ice Ice Ice, who has been caught out a little bit, but no Eclipse just yet. It's only level 1, actually.
Eclipse going to be used with the Scream. They do secure the kill. That was 4 heroes rotating down, though. That means Cuckoo, he's been left alone. He'll get chained up through the TP play, and now Moon will definitely just try and secure an easy kill. They do commit the egg, just in case Cuckoo had the damage, and with that, Ice actually buys back.
Dire's structures
Yeah,
Goes
perfectly
in-
fine. Protect that tier 1 tower.
are
Look at
No.
all chat.
No, my tower, bro, please. They just can't get through one. Ice is on a mission to not give one tower away, apparently.
He's doing a good job. I think if there was any time to make a play happen, it's right now on GeekFam. You've got 40 seconds until this Elder Dragon form is available again, and probably in that time your Queen of Pain can have level 10. Try and make something in that vein happen. The only thing you need to be mindful of right now is the Chronosphere. If you can dodge the Chronosphere, you're doing pretty well, because there's no overgrowth, Ice just brought back, Supernova just used. You could take not only bot tier 1 tower potentially, you can also make that rotation through to mid if you are able to take out Ice with the additional buyback cooldown if he ends up dying one more time.
Well, GeekFam, we'll see if they try to set up for that. I still think they're a bit concerned about the chrono timing of Savage, because he does still have it ready to go. They may just not want to fight. I mean, I agree that it's probably the best time to go here onto that treant, but without Eclipse as well, it might be a bit dangerous.
I think you can, just because you're 2 levels ahead on Raven compared to this Faceless Void, so it's not level 2 Chrono just yet. I know it's not that big a difference between level 1 and 2, but you've also just finished your Manta Style on this Luna, so you can start to put some pressure on other areas of the map while you're taking the team fight, or you can just bring, those Manta Illusions to a team fight and perhaps pop it a little bit early, or rather than save it for an overgrowth, use it a lot more aggressively to counteract, for example, things like the Fire Spirits.
That's actually a very good point. Well, we'll see what they do. Fnatic gonna stick together. There's that Manta coming up now.
tower is under attack.
Raven just gonna try and secure a bit more farm for the moment, but they might run into jabs here. That could be a nice easy pick off on the Witch Doctor, but no. Jabs will run out of range. He'll be fine. Fnatic, they'll actually smoke up there with Moon and Jabs in that mid lane, and they'll start pinging out their own outpost. Wyman is around the area, trying to steal the outpost away.
It's going to be hard to take him down, though, even with these 2 guys.
It will be. Moon gets in there with the Flame Guard. Now the Melodic with the cast. Wyman, he is fairly tanky, but seems as though if you have the Flame Guard running with the Melodic, it's just going to burst him down eventually. We also have the Blink out on Cuckoo. Now, I might add, that blink timing is sort of slower than a Pos 4 Earthshaker would get, unfortunately, for Cuckoo. Maybe because you did go into the treads and the Soul Ring. Nevertheless,
Oh, they found out Savage here.
they have Sonic Wave, Echo, all being committed. Overgrowth not there in time. Tips coming out. Now the Meteor Hammer from Ice just holding everyone in place.
Jabs is here.
Jabs is there with the cask. It's going to bounce very, very nicely in the Death Ward now. Jabs going to carry it himself. Oh, he gets the kill. And now, Zephyr, no chains, Moon. He missed. With that, it's still a 2-for-1 trade in the favor of Fnatic, and they'll just keep on pushing.
Yeah, with no Chronosphere being expended either, I don't think he even needed to pop that Echo Slam there. He was sitting real low, and with the pushback coming from the Sonic Wave, he had the time to wind up that Enchant Totem.
And now Fnatic, they'll just keep going. I don't think they're bothered. I mean, that Chrono is going to be up, and well, Savage, he's right back to farming anyway. Doesn't really care to use the Chrono yet. Oh, maybe he does, though. Cuckoo showed mid lane. No, Cuckoo will be out of range.
At least now they can put some pressure onto this bot side of the map. They can cause them to lose some farm as a result of the Manta Illusions. It forces the TP out here from Ice as well, but he's like, oh, sweet, free creeps.
Yeah, Chrono out. Secure the kill onto Cuckoo. A nice, easy kill to take.
Are scanning.
You've still got to be a little bit concerned about Raven, who is still at the top of the net worth board, though, on that Luna right now. In fact, he's going to find Jabs. He does have the Eclipse. The rest of his team comes in. He pops the Eclipse on Moon. Going to be worth a fair bit of gold, but he does run it out in time. Still Raven wanting to chase him down to maybe get a last Lucent Beam off. But the cask will stop him in his tracks. And Fnatic will be off to safety.
Yeah. No Eclipse now for 2 minutes. He's gone the farm style of builder. Oh, they've seen Ice. They've caught him out. but he just overgrowths and runs away. He's very highly valuing his life right now because if you remember, he did use that buyback previously, and that could mean the loss of his precious tower on this bot side of the map.
I mean, you are completely nullifying the whole DK Ogre Luna concept by just doing this over and over again by Ice. So I can kind of see how important it is to him to just keep this up. Raven's gonna try, but they just can't get through it. He's just being such a menace here. They haven't dropped one T1 tower. Now Zephyr's going to join in. But look at the side of Fnatic. They're smoked up. They're grouping in.
Coming.
They'll find Cuckoo. Cuckoo's going to be the first to have his blink cancelled off. He will get the Fissure there.
He's
Meanwhile,
caught.
Raven being chased by Moon. It's going to be a big kill there. If Raven does go down, but he TP's out in time, that means Whiteman will be the one to die. But they got what they wanted. They protected the T1 tower.
Yeah, very, very happy with it. Zephyr, he's cutting the wave. I'm liking this, making sure that you do need to pay a little bit more attention to that mid lane. They're trying to put some pressure on mid. Oh, the set. Oh, no. Did you see that?
No, I didn't quite. What happened?
Oh, Carl blinks forward to get a stun onto 23 Savage, and, well, Zephyr's going to go down. And the Centaur Conqueror that was pulled from the camp just stuns him up just as he's about to cast that Dragon Tail.
That is really, really just unfortunate. Moon now is going to be on top of Cuckoo. They've got the Spirit Vessel out, and more bounties are to be placed. Fissure is there, but the Flame Guard will just burn him. It's going to be a 19-9 now. 2k net worth lead for the side of Fnatic. Starting to feel like time's ticking here for GeekFam. Again, I don't mean to sound like a broken record. They still haven't got a 1 tier 1 tower. And all this time, Savage has slowly been catching up to Raven, and he's only about 200 gold behind now.
And this is true. Ice continues to push that out, continues to heal up his tower. He'll go for the Nature's Grasp damage just to be able to push out these waves even faster. And it's looking a bit rough right now for GeekFam. You're not having quite the level of impact that you were hoping for on this position 3 Earthshaker. It didn't really nullify 23 Savage's farm at all.
No, that it did not. Well, they're going to look towards mid lane. Carl, already in that dragon form. It's about to wear off, but he's going to go farm that creep wave up. You can't really take the fight if you are GeekFam, because there's a BKB and a Chrono up on Savage, and they have found Zephyr.
Yeah, he did.
Maybe. They do get the clumsy net. Cask as well. Yeah, he's definitely dead. Alright. I guess that kind of buys a bit of time here for Carl to pick up his own BKB. But now even Raven, Ice, didn't even bother trying to throw the overgrowth out. Savage was running up with the Chrono if they wanted to commit, but it looks like they just want to try and go after maybe that bottom tier 1.
Well, counter smoke coming through here. You're going to have Zephyr likely joining them through the... Oh, they still have control of the outpost, actually. It might telegraph a little bit of this movement, but...
Oh, Jabs breaks it. They're going to find the Witch Doctor, but he's not going to care. Just an easy kill for GeekFam, but not what they want with the 4-man smoke.
So they're going through onto mid now. Granted, they don't really know the fact that he doesn't have buyback available, but perhaps the play was to go for that bottom side of the map, make sure they could take out that tower, while it was actually a 4v5 situation.
I guess that is one way to do it.
They're making the move now, but you know, now you've got the potential for him to just respawn and join the team fight.
Yeah, they're gonna get started. More living armor coming out. Ice setting up for that meteor hammer onto the creep wave. Will deny that off. Now the fortify as well. They're gonna jump into the tree line. Carl's now stuck
hit the
there.
Tower.
They've got to hit the tower, absolutely.
And they're Roshan.
They are Roshing, so a tier 1 for a Roshan. What a trade from Fnatic.
They know. They've scanned it.
They've got to hurry though. They don't have much time left. It's going down quick. Sunray out as well to escalate things quite a bit, and they're not going to make it.
He's maybe on the front lines, Carl, but his dragon form's about to go. Perfect use of the scan as well from Fnatic.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to get in range. Now Carl's just in a very awkward position. Meteor Hammer coming in. Chrono committed through the BKB. They get the Eclipse off. Sonic Wave as well. This could be a turning time for the side of Geek. They do get one in the form of Jabs. 23 Savage, however, just manning up on that Void. Now trying to run away. He does have the Aegis and will lose it. This is a great team fight now for GeekFam. You
You've
do
got
have
Blink
the egg
Dagger on
drop
Ice, Ice,
and
Ice.
Overgrowth with the Blink Dagger out from Ice, and now the Echo from Cuckoo, but it's not going to be enough, or maybe it will be. They kill off the egg in time. It will not explode, so now can they capitalize? Moon is still chasing. He'll go after Cuckoo. Should be able to find them. No, Zephyr trying to help. They get the Dragon Tail. They will kill off the Ember, but now Ice, Ice, Ice and DJ trying to turn around here onto Carl. Nature's Grasp with the Spirit Vessel, not going to be quite enough. And somehow GeekFam make that team fight work in their favor.
Yeah, just picking out Savage at the start of that, and well, there's the advantage of having the Manta style available. It was a perfect combination. You saw it coming from a mile away with that Blink Dagger usage, catching onto 4 with the Overgrowth, but yeah, it's just still on his own, and you're still able to do damage in a team fight as this Luna right-clicking away at an egg. It's enough to deal with it, while it's still just a level 2 ultimate.
And that it was. So, Raven now going to be working toward that Satanic on the Luna, getting stronger and stronger as time goes on, and he's got a real nice net worth advantage over the Void now. Even Carl's ahead of 23 Savage at this point, and what's even scarier is Carl's going for what seems to be that Aghanim Scepter. That
You
Black
want a
Dragon.
frontliner, you got it.
Yeah, it's going to be a big boy. They'll move back down to that bot lane. Ice is around the corner in the tree line once again. Mind you, there is no T1 tower here to be taken, so Carl's just trying to split push and farm. But Meteor Hammer going to be cancelled off there. He'll use the Grasp instead. Just going to keep delaying things out here for poor old Carl.
I still don't think he's died since that buyback either. So, has to be a little careful. He's got his next buyback available in 200 gold.
Nice. Do you get concerned here for Fnatic? Like, does the Luna really combat the Void once we get into that late game?
It depends, like, you're just playing around the Chronosphere, right? Like, if you can use the rest of your team, most notably the Dragon Knight, to force out a non-ideal Chronosphere, then you don't really matter quite as badly. And, well, he's getting closer. Wait, actually, sorry, he's picked up his Elder Dragon form now with the Aghanim Scepter.
Well, Zephyr.
So,
well, Zephyr will die.
There's going to be a few situations where you're pushing in onto towers, and you just have to do something to start the team fight. And you probably don't want it to be the Chronosphere, but it's going to get to the point where it kind of has to.
Yeah, that's fair.
Dire's middle tower is under
Fnatic just keeping grouped up, but they are definitely feeling like they may have lost the momentum this game. That Aghanim Scepter now on Carl. He definitely wants to try and start a team fight if he can. They are, of course, yet to take that mid-tier 1 tower, so perhaps that's where they're headed. Savage getting ready with that Mjolnir now. He's going to be able to even split push just with that active. Looks like Fnatic just aren't interested at all to take another team fight. They're just going to play the map. I think that's fair enough, because you've got Savage who just doesn't have enough farm yet.
He doesn't, and not even just farm, but experience as well. The Luna 4 full levels ahead of him. He's already got his level 20 talent. It's gone for the Lucent Beam damage. It's good for being able to interrupt a lot of this stuff that Fnatic might be trying to go for. He went for the Lucent Beam cooldown reduction as well, rather than trying to speed up his farm just with that extra movement speed or right-click damage. So having... Oh,
Carl?
caught out jabs.
Yeah, he goes in on jabs. They're going to try and help this Witch Doctor out, but now you've got Whiteman there with the follow-up, and Carl, he wants to keep going.
That
A great
is a big
Fisher.
dragon.
Yeah, it definitely is a huge dragon, in fact, with the BKB. Moon in huge trouble as well. He's trying to remnant out, but the Fire Blaster's out now with the Dragon Tail, but they can't get through the HP of Moon. Savage was there just in case they needed the Chrono, but they're looking to come back in. Carl, it's not over yet. He goes back after jabs, maybe? No. Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He wants the dieback on that Pos 5 Witch Doctor. Fire Spirit is going to help him out, but Cuckoo is going to be there with the Fisher. Now the tip's flying out. Poor old jabs. He will die, and Raven wants another, but they're going to go after that T1 tower.
Yeah, they need towers. I think they would view it as a bit of a... not a failure, but if they're not able to get at least 2 towers from this push with no Supernova, no Witch Doctor for the next minute, it's a little bit worrying for GeekFam, but they've definitely got a stranglehold in this game.
You love to see it here from GeekFam. Fnatic going to find a way back into this game. They're looking at Carl mid. Ice, he has the Overgrowth Meteor Hammer, but Carl has friends around.
He's got friends, and he's got that BKB, and he's got a little bit of luck as well, having obviously gone for the cooldown reduction talent and picking up a quickening charm for himself. So it's only about a 25-second downtime on that Elder Dragon form.
Oh, jeez. That doesn't seem very balanced, Danog. Seems a bit short.
Well, you know, that's a bit of an OS frog.
Bot lane, they are going to start going through backdoor protection. Glyph will be forced out as the creep wave does come in, but they're going to tank through with that creep wave. They'll glyph themselves as well. And finally, these towers are no longer an issue here for this Dire side. ISI is still desperately trying to keep them up, but he just can't any longer. The damage output is way too high, and they'll smoke.
Yeah, I really like this a bit more teamfight-oriented talent build coming through from 23 Savage. They're going to be able to find out Moon here potentially with the Blink initiation.
Dragon Tail, no, it was on a creep. Yeah, he tried to get through after the Sleight of Fist, but it's a hard stun to land if you've got to deal with that kind of Ember.
I think it was just luck again. The fact that he did use the Sleight of Fist just as he went in for the stun, he didn't know. He had no idea that that TK was coming.
True.
Oh, actually, did he? They've got this really deep ward. So perhaps it was just some really solid plays coming through there.
Perhaps. ISI, he's going to have to make some solid plays now. Whiteman going to go in
him.
for a Fire Blast. They have found him finally. Sonic Wave comes out. Fisher there as well. He'll living armor himself. Overgrowth as well, just really trying to survive this, but he will not. Tips will start flying out now from GeekFam, and are they going to go for a T3 tower?
And you can see here, he's dead for 85 seconds. Like I was talking about before, that buyback extra death timer was not expended up until this point. He's been alive for a good 12 minutes or so. And so if he buys back and dies again, how are you supposed to defend these towers?
It's a good question. But now, anyway, they're actually going to try and chase down Zephyr. Carl TP'd up to the top lane. You've still got Raven around the area on that Luna. So they are willing to fight back. They've even got the echo there of Cuckoo still around. Savage not committing Chrono. Moon's in trouble. He needs to get out of there. Cuckoo still just trying to jump in onto Jabs. Egg gonna be dropped as well. Carl will be back around trying to deal with the Egg. No, they're gonna abandon that, but Savage goes for the Chrono now onto the Luna. Can he take down Raven? He is a bit tankier than expected, and now he pops the Satanic and will be fine. He'll just work through it. Savage needs to run. They stun him up again. Cuckoo's in there. Still has the Echo as well. Will finally commit it now. Savage still trying to time walk out. Looks like he should be okay. But they did lose the team fight, and well, Ice dying back in the middle of all that. He even tells them, I've got no buyout. Well, GeekFam, they're going high ground.
Yeah, I think they're well aware he's got no buyout and no ultimates as well available for anyone on Fnatic's side. The only one that just hasn't come up is Ice, and he's in the grave for the next minute. They're going straight tier 4s.
I don't blame him. You've got that Dragon form up. You can take these tier 4s real quick. Savage doesn't have Chrono either. It's going to be a very, very hard defense, and you kind of ask the question, how do you defend this? Well, they're going to try. Jumping on Carl, he'll pop the BKB, and now Savage goes in onto Whiteman. Cuckoo's there with the Fisher. A great Sonic Wave out. Will kill off Jabs. Carl still working towards DJ, but he will dive away. Moon as well, popping his own BKB, trying to fight back on the Ember, but no, Savage, he's gone down. He will have to buy back, but now they're Ancient, about to be exposed. Raven is still just concentrating on the objectives. Meanwhile, they jump on the Phoenix again. DJ's falling very, very low. He has no way out of this. He will go down. Savage pops the BKB, fighting back up against Carl. They do kill off Zephon, the Queen of Pain, but he'll also buy back, and now GeekFam back into the Ancient. They aren't giving up quite yet. Fnatic, I don't know how you defend this any longer. They'll keep trying though. Savage time walk, but he does get stunned up. Now the Ancient's very, very low, and Savage does die back. That might just be it, and the Ancient does go down. And GeekFam have pulled off the 2-1 victory, and they will make it to the upper bracket semi-finals, Danog.
They do, and top 3 guaranteed for GeekFam. We were saying the draft looked a lot more solid than that game 1. I mean, Ice and Fnatic, they played that so well to start the game, but, you know, just a couple of deaths on a Treant Protector, and there's really not too much that you can do to be able to turn things around. That Dragon, oh, what can you really do against it?
Not much. It's once that Ags is up on Carl, he becomes a real monster, and Well, Danog, with that, that is it for our first series, and what a way to start the day. I believe we're going to have TNC Predator versus T1 up next. If my schedule is correct, I believe Adroit and RR are going to be last, but I will double check that. Nevertheless, it is MLP Dota, it is Danog, and we'll be back in about 15 minutes for that second series of the day.